I'm Ann Hoffman, and I would kind of like to share with you what it's like living here in Cuenca, Ecuador. I don't know if maybe you've ever been intrigued with the whole idea of living abroad, and maybe even saving money while you do it. What I'm going to do over the next few minutes is try to share some of my experience and kind of let you get a feel for what it's like when you are living outside the country. One of the questions I get asked all the time is, why Cuenca, Ecuador? And this is actually the third time that I've been here, and I just fell in love with the place. It never crossed my mind. As far as I knew, Ecuador was just someplace south of the U.S., a long ways. And then I started looking around, and I spent a lot of time really trying to figure out what it is I really wanted and where I might find what it was I was looking for. And it turned out it's Cuenca. It is at 8,200 feet above sea level, so you're kind of high up there. But it is springtime all year. I mean, we're not talking snow and 20-degree weather here. We're talking absolutely beautiful springtime weather year-round, because it is, after all, on the equator. What I would like to do now is just to introduce you to some of the things that I've experienced here. I'm here with my partner, Dawn, and we've made friends with a number of people here. We were out to dinner not too long ago with our friends Jim and Marcia, and we went to a place called Tiesto's. Keep in mind, this is one of the most expensive restaurants in Cuenca. It's not the most, but it's up there. The bottle of wine costs $32. That's the most expensive. Wine's very expensive in Ecuador. It just is. What can I say? All the rest of the food and the coffee came to about $14 per person. And another example, it's lunch. To one of the local Ecuadorian restaurants for lunch, and you just say you want to have whatever is the prefixed lunch of the day. And so I had, this one place I went, I had a bowl of soup. It's homemade soup. Then the main course, I think it was chicken. I'll have to look at my photos. And then a little bit of salad and either rice or potatoes, I don't really remember. And then the beverage was fresh squeezed juice. You can eat like that for $2.50 to $3.50 all over town. Anyway, so that's the food kind of aspect of all of this. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of cut and paste here. I took some video down at Parque de Calderon, and that is like the center of the city. Everything takes place around it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to show you that. So where we are now is in Parque Calderon, and this is the heart of the city of Cuenca. I'm just literally turning around in a circle on the corner of the park. Right across here is ice cream. It's a great place to go for ice cream. And you can see a lot of different people. You can see some of the architecture. And I just wanted to give you a flavor. You're not seeing the whole buildings, which is unfortunate, but it's really quite spectacular. Now, we're going to get up close and personal with the bush here. This is again Parque Calderon, and it's right in the center of Cuenca, and is just a marvelous park. There's so much that takes place here. Anytime there's any kind of festival or parade or demonstration or anything, it always ends up here. And this is back here. I've pretty much gone all the way around, and I'm showing you the new cathedral, so I'm having to move this way up. As you can see, this is the new cathedral, and it's really quite beautiful. And now we're coming back down again. So there you have Park Calderon. So I've shot a little bit of footage of my apartment, the one, actually I should say the apartment that Dawn and I share. It's not just my apartment. And so here comes some of that, so you can get an idea of what an apartment, a basic apartment looks like. So here we go. We're now going to come over here. There you can see the names. And we are entering our apartment. This is the base we're using as we look for where we want to settle. We just wanted to get an apartment to have a place as a base of operations to go out and explore Cuenca even more fully than we have on previous trips, and really find a really cool apartment that is going to fulfill all our needs. So this is the living room, and as I promised, I did not pick up because I wanted you to see what it's like for us on kind of a daily basis. Now, those little creaks you hear are the wood floors. This again is, this is obviously our dining room. Since it's a one-bedroom apartment, we don't have a separate room for our office, so we use one end of the dining room table. This is the kitchen. We have a huge island here. And then the kitchen sink. Something you're going to find really quite amusing is this is the stove and refrigerator. We don't have an oven. Ovens are the exception, not the rule here in Cuenca, because most of the food is cooked on the stovetop. When you buy your fruits and vegetables, they are fresh at the moment, and they are ready to eat. So there's not a lot of storage that goes on like at home. And also there are panaderias, which are bakeries, and they are everywhere. And so people don't bake a lot here. They just whip down to the local panaderia and pick up anything from multi-grain bread to pies to cakes, donuts, all kinds of sweets, all kinds of rolls. I mean, it's really quite extensive what you can get. Coming on around, there's our microwave and toaster and coffee pot. And I'm going to show you the rest of the apartment. This is like a washroom. It's where obviously the maid keeps the brooms and stuff to clean with and that sort of thing. And yes, we do have a maid once a week. She comes with the apartment, and then when we get our own place, we'll have to find our own maid. We have a couple natural gas tanks. This one that you see the hose leading up, that is our on-demand hot water heater. And the other tank goes to our stove. So this is the bathroom. It's, you know, your basic bathroom. And then here we have the mirror and the sink and quite a bit of space there. And our towels, and that's the bathroom. I did get the bed made this morning before I brought you on this little tour. And so this is our bedroom, and we have the vertical blinds. Are very popular here, where the TV is for this apartment. And then there's a nice little bench there to sit on. How the closets are done. They're done with cabinetry. We'll move over here and you see another set. So there you have our apartment. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at it. It might give you a better feel. What you will notice is that it's very, very simple. And that is one of the biggest differences that we have come to notice between here and back in the States. Everything is kept so simple, and you have what you need and no more. At first, we had this long list of stuff we were going to buy. We needed this, that, and the other thing for this apartment in order for us to feel comfortable and all that sort of thing. And we didn't go out shopping right away. So what happened was that A couple weeks later, we looked at that list again and we said, you know what? We don't need half the stuff on this list, because we found that it's so, you really reduce your life down to the simple things so that you spend your time on the things that are really important to you instead of acquiring stuff. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and all the best. So now you've seen my apartment, and I thought maybe what you'd like to hear is a little bit about what does it cost to rent a place down here. And I'm just going to talk about renting at this point in time. Depending on whether you are renting a place that's very upscale, in Cuenca you have sort of two schools, if you will. You have the people, the expats who own property and rent it out. And you have locals who own property and rent it out. And there's oftentimes, usually, a big difference in price there. Americans will come down there and they will look for places that they want to rent out. They also will have something that they would want to live in. And so they're looking for places that are very similar to what they're used to in the US. So they're looking at a very different kind of apartment. The people who are the Cuencanos, which is what people from Cuenca are called, Cuencanos. The Cuencanos are not worried about having elevators and garbage disposals and dishwashers. What you can find is for an apartment unfurnished that's in sort of that US American block, you're going to be looking at probably at least $700 on up to $1,200, $1,500. It all depends on where in town you're looking and how many rooms there are, all that normal stuff. When you're looking at the Cuencano apartments, if you're looking at unfurnished, you can find apartments for $250, $300 a month. You do have to furnish them then, and when you furnish an apartment, that is including everything. Your refrigerator, your stove, if you want a microwave, all that stuff, if you want a washer and dryer, all that stuff. So you have to decide whether you want furnished or unfurnished to start with, and then decide what is it that you really want. Do you have to have a dishwasher? Or are you going to have somebody who comes in and cleans for you on a regular basis so that you only have to really do the dishes 2 or 3 times a week? You know, you got to think these things through. So that's kind of what we're talking about in terms of price. When you start talking about the cost of your utilities, cost of your internet service, your phone service, that sort of thing, you're going to want to add $100 to $200 onto whatever it is that's the monthly rate, because your internet connection is going to change in price depending on how fast you want it to be. And most of us from the States are pretty spoiled and we want to have pretty fast. I do anyway. I want fast broadband. And that's going to probably cost me $50 or $60 a month in order to have that. So it isn't like it's dirt cheap, but it is available. And that's what's important to understand. So enough about the pricing. We're going to move on now. There are actually quite a few expats living in the greater Cuenca area, and I think there's probably around 600-700 people living here now from outside Ecuador. There are all the time different activities going on. We went to an art exhibit which was fantastic. The artisans in Cuenca, well, Cuenca is really the arts capital of Ecuador, and so there were just incredible artists at this exhibit, and a lot of Cuencanos were there, but also a lot of expats were there. And they get together for breakfasts and lunches and dinners and our concerts, all sorts of stuff. And it's free. I went to a concert that had like 8 bands. Lasted for 6 hours. There's so much to do and see around there. And you see the expats out and about all over the place, but they are a small percentage of the larger population. So it's not like leaving the States and going to a subset of the States. You really are in Ecuador, you really are in another country, you really are a guest in that country. So now that I've shared some of my life living here in Cuenca, I would like to help you uncover how you might be able to live overseas in some place that's going to be really good for you. In the next few days, I will be releasing a series of videos that are all about living internationally. And I invite you to sign up down below, and then I can share these videos with you. These are free videos. There's nothing, it's not going to cost you anything. It's that they're for people who really are maybe interested in living overseas, and these videos are really going to help you get a better idea of how to go about that. And yeah, I have some people who are telling me that I'm a bit crazy for giving away all this video for free, but you know, I think it's all this clean mountain air I've got here that is turning my brain or something. I don't know. Anyway, if you'd like a chance to take a look at these videos, just give me your email right down below, and then I can get you on that list and get those sent out to you. So I will say ciao for now, and that is actually used in Spanish as well as in Italian. So ciao for now. I hope to see you on the other side.